Hey, Andrew here for MyNextTablet.com. Today with an unboxing of the Huawei MediaPad M5 Lite 8, which is a new 8-inch Android tablet. Alright, I managed to get the Huawei MediaPad M5 Lite 8. It's a new 8-inch tablet that was announced in China in spring of 2019, and it's slowly getting available in other countries. For example, you can get it in Thailand already and also in India. However, in India it's called HonorPad 5 8-inch. They also have an HonorPad 5 10-inch, and the HonorPad 5 10-inch is based on the MediaPad T5. If you're from India and interested in those, I've got a video about the MediaPad T5 online already for a couple of months already. Well, in this video we want to unbox the Huawei MediaPad M5 Lite 8, and let's just start it. First of all, we've got the tablet inside the box, and it has a mostly metal body, seems to be pretty well built. Then we've got a SIM eject tool, and I actually have the LTE version, so I can eject the slot for the SIM card and the micro SD card. And then we have something that's a bit disappointing. There's a micro USB cable, so no USB-C here. That's a bit disappointing. Well, then we have the standard warranty cards and so on, and a power plug as well, the charger. I also got the official cover for the MediaPad M5 Lite 8, and that one seems to be well made. It fits the tablet pretty nicely, fits just right in, and it protects the screen. However, it does not unlock, close or unlock the screen if you close it. That's a bit disappointing, but yeah, it seems to be a pretty decent cover. Nothing special, but that's the official one, and yeah, seems to work fine. Alright, I've got the Huawei MediaPad M5 Lite 8 in front of me right now, and actually since I shot the first part of this video, about over a day has passed already. I already ran a couple of tests, and yeah, that way I can show you a bit more. Now let's take a look at the design first. We've got an 8-inch screen here, black bezels around the screen. There's no fingerprint scanner on the bottom. That's a bit sad, only the Huawei logo. The front facing camera has a resolution of 8 megapixels, and then if we turn it around, we get a 13 megapixel camera on the back, and then we've got a mostly metal back here. However, the bottom and top are plastic, and there's also a slim plastic frame around the device, but the back plate here is metal, so it's not as well built as the MediaPad M5 8 without the light. That one has a full metal body, feels really high end. This one is still alright, has a metal back, but it's more of a mid-range tablet. And that's, by the way, what the price suggests. The LTE version costs around $260 US. Obviously, prices vary a bit by country. So yeah, 30 megapixel camera on the back. Then we've got 2 speakers, like on the standard M5 8. 2 speakers and a headphone jack, which is really nice to see, because the premium version, the MediaPad M5 8, does not have a headphone jack. Then on the sides we've got volume rocker, power button, then obviously microphone and so on. On the bottom, that's really sad, the micro USB port. I really wish that even with cheaper tablets everybody would switch to USB-C, but no, it's a micro USB port. Alright, well then we've got a micro SD card slot, and as I said, I have the LTE version, and that's where you put the SIM card as well. The micro SD cards can be up to 512 gigabytes in size. So yeah, the design is pretty nice. Not super high end, but not bad either. Like a standard mid-range tablet. Now let's check out the screen. It's an 8-inch screen, and it has an aspect ratio of 16:10, so it's pretty good for movies, and it has a full HD resolution with 1920 by 1200 pixels. And the screen seems to be pretty well made. It's fully laminated, which is really nice. I'm just checking it. Yeah, it's fully laminated. Obviously, Full HD on 8 inches is sharp enough. It's a pretty sharp screen. Nothing to complain on 8 inches with Full HD. And yeah, viewing angle seems to be pretty decent as well. The brightness is alright. I've got it set to maximum brightness right now, but I also have a pretty bright studio light here, so that's what I have to do with most tablets. So the brightness will be fine, but not outstanding, but yeah, should be fine. Now let's take a look inside the tablet, and for that let's just open here the CPU Z app, and we get a HiSilicon Kirin 710. That is an octa-core processor with 8 cores in total, and you can see the clock range here. 4 of them are clocked at 2.19 GHz and the other 4 at 1.71 GHz. We also get 3 GB of RAM and a 32 GB internal storage. And I already did run a couple of benchmarks like Geekbench and also Antutu. And as you can see in my comparison chart here, the results are pretty interesting because they are noticeably weaker than the MediaPad M58, which is the more premium brother. However, they are better than the Samsung Galaxy Tab A 8.0 2019. So the Samsung tablet is a direct competitor that's a bit more expensive. It also has an S Pen. However, it is a little bit weaker, at least in benchmarks. Alright, let's continue with a couple of words about the performance. You're seeing PUBG Mobile right here, which is one of the games I try on almost every tablet. And I was able to set the graphics to HD and the frame rate to high, and it does run pretty well. There are always some minor stutterings in between, but it's only really minor. Overall, I think the performance of PUBG Mobile is pretty good here. However, I did not notice any differences compared to the Samsung Galaxy Tab A 8.0. I think the benchmark results are it is technically a bit faster, but the real life results are so similar that you won't notice any difference when it comes to gaming, at least not any real difference. So PUBG Mobile runs pretty good on here with HD graphics settings, and obviously if you experience any stuttering because you've got tons of apps open or what, then just set the graphics a bit lower. But it should be a decent mid-range gaming tablet, but you won't be able to play it at super high settings, and Fortnite is not supported either. Alright, so much about gaming. Now let's check out the software. On the Huawei MediaPad M5 Lite 8 runs Android 9 Pie. And in fact, it is the first tablet from Huawei to ship with Android 9. And there you see it. All other ones have been shipped with Android 8. However, Huawei has been releasing updates to Android 9 for the standard MediaPad M5 series. Well, on top of Android 9 obviously runs the Emotion UI, that is the own interface from Huawei. And if you ever had a smartphone or a tablet from Huawei in the last couple of years, in the last 5 years or so even, then you will feel pretty much right at home. Not too much has changed. Out of the box, all of the apps are installed onto the home screen directly. However, in the settings you can enable an app drawer if you want. There are a lot of stuffs you can change and activate in the settings. For example, another new thing with Android 9 is the digital balance thing. There you see how much time you're spending with what. You can also change the system navigation. You can change it to gestures. So that's a standard that a lot of manufacturers with Android 9 are offering. Samsung, for example, has very similar features that are just called a bit different. We also get a kids corner here, and there are, what's typical standard for Huawei, really a lot of apps pre-installed. All these tools here, there's a weather app, calculator, recorder, a clock, a backup app, the video app. We also get a files manager, which obviously is useful. You can change and install different themes to customize it even more. And we've got their own app gallery, but obviously the Google apps are pre-installed as well. And I installed those benchmarks here, of course. One important thing to notice, you can see the dialer app here. So yes, if you have the LTE version, you will be able to make phone calls and send text SMS messages. So you can use this tablet as a phone, at least if you get the LTE version. That's what I'm having here right now. Yes, so far the operating system seems to be pretty smooth. I just used it a bit. I already had a battery test and so on. I surfed the web a bit and Chrome, and all of this should work pretty nicely on here. The performance of the Kirin 710 should be good enough for almost all everyday tasks, and that's what it is. One thing that I quickly want to try, let's just open the Play Store, is multitasking. The split screen view, it still works the same because Samsung changed it with Android 9. But it's just something weird that Samsung did. The split screen view still works the same on the MediaPad. So yeah, as you can see here, you will be able to open two apps side by side and use them side by side. Let me quickly just hold the Samsung Galaxy Tab A 8.0 next to it. Both tablets are direct competitors, and sadly, both tablets are not available worldwide, at least not yet. So chances are that only one is available in the country you are in. If you're lucky, you can get both of them, and then you can compare them in more detail. They are very similar. However, the Samsung has the S Pen stylus, which the MediaPad is lacking. And yeah, I will definitely compare them in more detail for my final review. One more thing about the battery life. I did already run my standard battery life, and in that one it got a runtime of 11 hours and 30 minutes. For my battery test, I'm always looping an HD video at medium brightness until the tablet shut itself off. And yeah, 11.5 hours are not outstanding, but for an 8-inch tablet, it's actually a pretty good result. Alright, that's it so far with my unboxing of the Huawei MediaPad M5 Lite 8. I really have to start using it now to see if it really is a good tablet. My first impressions are pretty good, especially because it is relatively affordable with around $260 for the LTE version. Pretty decent price. For that we get a pretty good performance, an 8-inch Full HD screen and Android 9, and those are like the basic features that the tablet should tick in 2019, and yeah, seems to be pretty well. Obviously, I'm really not sure if this tablet will be available worldwide. For example, if it ever will be available in Europe, probably not in the United States. With all this China-US trade war going on right now, it's really not clear. But one thing, by the way, is very clear. If you're getting it in the West outside of China, it is still shipping with all Google apps and the Play Store, even though the trade war stuff is going on. Yeah, anyway, if you have any questions, please feel free to write them down below. If there's anything I should try on here, then I will do my best to include that for the final review. And yeah, I'm Andrzej for mynexttablet.com. Please subscribe to this channel. I'm reviewing pretty much all tablets that are released almost worldwide. Thanks for watching and see you next time.